Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? You know what time it is. It's Sunday, 1:00 p.m. Pacific Coast time. And you know I always come on here single screen before I welcome our special guest every episode that join us, and take their time to come and talk to our Positivity Posse. And I'm so grateful for all of the people who've joined us, even before there was the quarantine series. As many of you know, we just had the Victor Brooks show here at our local studio at Third Wheel Podcast on Wilshire Boulevard, which we're now in a almost like a mind battle. Are we going to go back to the studio after the quarantine, because it is going to be over, but or are we going to stay doing this? So we don't know. But I know as of right now, and especially today, we're so happy to come at you, and come and join this time every Saturday and Sunday at 1:00 with you. To my Positivity Posse, which I say our Positivity Posse around the world, you all go ahead and start your watch parties. I thank you all so much, because I get comments after I go ahead and start mine of you all reminding me to start. And I thank you for that, because we just want to share it. We want to spread it as much as we can. We want to spread that love as much as we can, So I've just started mine. And so, every episode, I always love to give credit where credit is due, especially during this time of these two viruses out here that I always talk about, I talk about the virus of the coronavirus that have hit so many of us, and actually all of us, that, put our life on pause here, for a minute or for a time frame. But if we look at it in the scope of it all, yeah, it's just for a minute. It's a pause. And positively speaking of it, in a lot of ways, I know what it's done for me positively. It's kind of put me on pause from the everyday back and forth, 24 hours only in a day, which when you look back at it, there's a lot that I've been able to finish, some books that I haven't finished. As some of you know, I'm now back into the writing thing, and I've been able to get some of the writing and release that creativity that I haven't done in a while. Calling family, keeping in touch, those things are positives that we can look at, in the midst of it all. I don't watch news as much as I used to. I keep updated when I need to, but I'm abreast of what's happening. And I always have to say that just because our whole campaign and theme is a positive message does not mean that we're trying to put our head in the sand and say that there's nothing going on that's a very serious, life-threatening situation in this world. No, we're not. We're saying that there's positivity to be found in anything that we can put our mind to, that we can sink into. Every morning I open my eyes, I make it a point that that's the start of my positivity. I open my eyes, I say, thank God, you brought me here another day for another reason. Whatever your positive outcry is, give it. As soon as you wake up in the morning, when I put my foot down and I know I can walk where I need to go, that's a positive for me, And that second virus of racism that's been with us generationally, y'all, especially here in the US of A and so many other parts of the world, that's a virus that we've been generationally dealing with, But when I look over at our young people that are out here, when they started this campaign of protest, man, that put a smile on my face. A lot of the young artists that hear me when I cry out every weekend, you young artists, write those songs, paint those pictures, choreograph those dance moves, write that poetry, give that stand-up comedy, there's protest and positivity of protesting comedy as well. But we need your voice, and we thank you so much. Want to give it up to our essential workers, our doctors, our nurses, everybody in the hospital medical staff. Thank you for putting your life on the line, every day to do what you can to help through this whole time right now. We want to give it up to our postal workers, you know. We want to give it up to everybody, our truck drivers, our grocery market workers who are there for us whenever we need to go refill, you dig? Thank you for all you're doing. Our positive police force, because there are positive police representatives out here with us. Only thing we ask is that the positive ones put a foot to the negative ones, you dig? You know, make it all make sense, make your voice be heard, you know, for all of us. So there's positivity everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. You know what, today, you know, as every episode, and I can't help smiling every episode, y'all. Number one, because Positivity Posse has become a family to me. And I hope the feeling is mutual, you know, and from the emails that I've been getting, it's mutual. But everybody that's come on to share their time, I mean, from Bill Duke to Salima Nimoy as an author, to Clifton Davis, to Larry Dotson of the Barcades, and Melba Moore, and so many others, on and on, names that you may know. And we also tell stories and journeys of names that you may not know. Because as we say in the music industry too, sometimes it's not the toys, it's the noise, you dig? It's what we're actually trying to say. And all of us have had times in our lives where this journey of life has taken us up and it's taken us down. I know it has with me. That's why I can't judge anybody. I know what I've been through and I know what I've learned from it as well. So that's all this whole Positivity Posse series is all about, Joe. That's why I say, come get some of this positivity on you. You know, every time you sign on, get it on you and then sprinkle it on somebody else. Today, you all, I have the pleasure and the honor of having one of my friends, and I call my brother, for so many years. As I've watched this gentleman's whole artistry grow into the monumental, iconic journey that so many of us have respected over the years, you know? And I'm talking about none other than Mr. Mark Kibble. And you know, I always love to read as much as I can from the autobiographies of what I put together to compilate before I bring them on. So check this out. When Take Six came on the music scene in 1988, with their self-titled debut album, they started breaking the rules, changing the game, and paving the way for so many groups who came after Take Six. Take Six showcased a new way of how music was being created, becoming the most awarded a cappella group in music history. My guest today, Mark Kibble, was and is a key ingredient of the Take Six style and sound that kick-started this music and vocal revolution that has taken place within the music industry. This is evident when his brothers of Take Six call Mark Kibble the architect, due to the fact that he was and is a key component in designing and molding the Take Six sound. And in my opinion, the Take Six sound is an unmatched collective genius of original vocal styling and delivery. Mark Kibble and his fellow band members proceeded to design a fresh, vocally driven sound consisting of gospel, jazz, doo-wop, R&B, pop, 60s soul, and at times a hip-hop approach. That has been working and evolving for over 30 years. Also, much respect to the previous Take Six pioneers, Mervyn Warren and Cedric Dent, who are no doubt part of this Take Six iconic journey. With 10 Grammy Awards, 10 Dove Awards, 2 NAACP Image Awards, a Soul Train Award, and more, Mark Kibble and these other masters of sound, Claude McKnight, Joel Joey Kibble, Dave Thomas, Alvin Chia, and Christian Dentley, have continued to bring extraordinary vocals to their worldwide audiences. April 28th marked the release of their 16th album, amply titled Iconic. That's a bad album. And also the debut of a PBS special, The Summit, alongside the Legends Manhattan Transfer. Some of the honors that Mark and Take Six have enjoyed over the past few years include being chosen as the first musical group to perform in Cuba at the normalization of relations between the U.S. and Cuba, and also their induction into the Gospel Music Hall of Fame. It gives me great pleasure to welcome my friend and brother, the multi-talented Mark Kibble, to the Victor Brooks Show. Mark, are you on screen?
Wow, I'm here. I'm scared now. That was major.
Oh, brother.
Trumpets and fanfare, bro. I'm just a humble.
Come on, man.
I'm just a dude.
You know what, brother? There's no way that I could, and like I mentioned before, man, there is no way to contain your career, number one, individually, over your lifetime in a 45-minute to an hour episode. And then with the addition of Take Six in a 45-minute to an hour episode, you know? But Mark, thank you for coming, man. And you know what? I always ask my guests, what is your personal positivity, especially during this time, brother?
Oh, shoot. Well, you know, it is always just the hope and faith that God's got me, no matter what happens. He promised that he would be with me and us through whatever we go through. Of course, we're going to go through valleys and troubles, but no matter what it is, we're in his hands. We're in his hands, no matter what happens. You know, we can get sick. Family members pass away, but we still in his hands. And that hope, that gives me everything, man. That makes it worth it to wake up in the morning and give somebody else some positivity, smile.
Yes.
Hope that things that have been horrible in the past can be better in the future, you know.
That's right, brother. Hey, Mark, spreading love, right?
That's what my theme has been my entire career and my life. So I'm happy to continue to spread it right with this iconic dude, Vic Brooks.
Right on, brother.
Can I stop you for a second and just talk about you? Because I know you're going to talk, we're going back to 1976.
That's right.
This dude, I thought I could sing. I thought I could. I thought I had a little music in me. I saw this brother, Vic Brooks, get up and do something. And next thing I know, he's on TV. Next thing I know, he's blowing up. And I'm like, wait a minute, what am I doing? Because that dude has got
brother,
the Mathis touch.
Oh, brother.
Okay.
Oh, brother.
You set the bar high from the very get.
Oh,
so,
brother.
I don't know if y'all have ever heard this brother sing, but trust me when I say, you will be swept away.
Oh, man. Mark, you don't know what that means. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, man.
You don't realize what kind of inspiration you were for me early on.
Wow. And you know what, Mark? My Lord, man, you know what, man? How you gonna make me start crying on my show, Mark? That ain't even
Are you kidding me, man? Come on, man. I already know who you are. It's too late.
Man, you know what, Mark? You brought up that 1976, and thank you again, man. But you know what? You brought 1976 just up now. And I know that our journey personally started around 76. When we both were PKs, your father, my father, you were in Nashville, we were in Memphis. But our journeys as a family connection started way before both of us were born, man. Right, our families, you know, grew up, were in college together and all of that kind of stuff, man.
Yeah. The music goes way back beyond us. And, you know, our parents set the bar for us to do great things, you know. And, you know, our family members all over the place, you know, I'm so grateful for that they were able to pass that on to us, you know, and they passed on a lot of stuff, but that musical thing, I thank them and I thank God. I can't explain anything else.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Is that your baby's there, man?
That's my grandson.
That's your grandson. You
gotta get up in the mix.
Right on, man. What's your grandson's name, brother?
He's Zion.
He's right. Zion. What's happening, Zion?
Yeah, man. He's doing his thing, man. 4 years old, all over the place.
4 years old, man. That's all
Can you
right.
believe that? Can you believe that? That means we're getting up there. This grade ain't for nothing.
Hey, brother, you
And I
know
see
what?
you hiding yours. I see you.
Well, you know what? I'm hiding gray. I'm hiding what do you call hair reverse? But we in there. I think we keep it together the best we can, brother. But you know what? Our families and music has always been a tie, like you said, man. When we had our mutual cousin Jeremy Winston on when he did his episode, we went into that from our aspect with Jeremy and I brought up how important it was and how special it was to grow up with like your direct family, like Uncle Alan Foster and you know, Aunt Winnie and that whole sound and feel of music, man, went deep with us. In your life, let's start at Buffalo, New York, okay? Let's start right there at the church setting of Buffalo, where if I'm right, not only were you and the Kibble sound and musical thing, but the Willis family was also there. Give us that story, man.
Yes, they, you know, that Buffalo basically was the Willis family.
Okay.
Because it was Pop Willis was, you know, he directed the choir there, and, you know, big family. They all sang, you know, Claude, my brother that sings in the group, and his family, Brian, everybody came out of Buffalo. And not only that, but that because Buffalo was such a musical mecca, when I arrived there, it just blew my mind. With all the music, they had quartets, they had trios, they had at least 3 choirs when I arrived, and it grew from there. You know, one of the people that was there was my grade school teacher and principal and musical, well, for me, he's an icon. Alan Johnston taught me so much stuff. Gotcha. He taught me everything. He's like my mentor. And just because there was so much music there was no way that you could be there and not be completely immersed and just bloom and blossom in music. Right. So for me, that was like just that little spark that got put into my life that just made everything explode right there. So, you know, you talk about when Take 6 started, you know, I knew Claude and his family in Buffalo, and we met again when we got down to Oakwood. I left there for, you know, from 76 to, I didn't get there till 80. I guess I got there in 78 to go to the academy. Claude got there in 80. I saw him in the bathroom, and there's the bathroom story. We, you know. Right.
Oh, we're going to get to that one.
It all blew up from there, you know. That's right. So, and everybody knows the bathroom story. So, but yeah, that. It was just so exciting. But while we were in Buffalo, you know, the Wrights, which, you know, they came from Ohio.
That's right.
That means all your family was all up in there.
Yeah.
Right there. They would come up to Buffalo, and it was just, you know, you talk about the 2 musical meccas meshing together and causing an explosion. That must have been felt all through the state of New York, Michigan, Ohio, everybody, all surrounding states knew when that happened. Because it was just magic.
Because you know what, Mark, man, that's fantastic, because those of us in the SDA church, especially our age and even older, remember that when you mentioned like the Wright family and gospel, and you mentioned the Willis family and their spreading of not just the traditional, the spirituals, but also their Annie Lane was gospel prophetess, you know, many of us on point. So we remember, and much respect you mentioned to, I believe you said Alan Johnston?
Alan Johnston, yes.
And his wife, Shirley.
That's
was it Alan? Right. Okay. Much respect. That's right.
That's right. That's right.
But now that whole thing, what were you listening to outside of church at that time?
Oh, that's when I was still in Buffalo when Earth, Wind, and Fire came on.
Really?
Oh, yes. Can't Hide Love.
I got you.
I promise you, I would be glued to my little radio, waiting for it and changing stations to find out when it would come on again.
Come on.
Oh
Right.
my goodness. That song, because of the musical changes in there, it just absolutely blew my mind. And of course, I was just, I was totally in from then on, and obviously Stevie came right after that. See, I was introduced to him, and everybody knew who Michael Jackson was. We were all following him during that time too.
That's right.
So yeah, those were the outside of the church influences. Of course, my dad introduced me to Edwin Hawkins and Oh Happy Day way back, in 69 when that thing came out.
Yes.
So I was already immersed in gospel. My God, tradition, the Adventist faith is so traditional.
Yes.
And my dad was what you call blue collar and renegade, and he was like bringing in all the gospel stuff. He was listening to Shirley Caesar. Come on, man.
Right.
So I all that made me what I am. That with all the quartet music from Breath of Life to Swan Silvertones and all that kind of
Brothers
stuff.
and all of
Brothers of DC. Who can?
Right. That whole Shelton Kilby,
Oh, don't even start with Shelton. Man. He was throwing in the curveballs before we knew what curveballs were.
That's right, brother. That's right. So all of this was creating that Mark Kibble.
Yeah.
Because what I want to do, man, is for my Positivity Posse, and I see them lining up, brother. You have your fans from France who are coming on, giving shout. Our Positivity Posse, of course, in Brazil, who are giving love. Obrigado, Brasil. Muito obrigado, minha família brasileira. Saudade de você.
Oh, you better go ahead.
Man, I try to get in where I can fit in.
I should have known that myself.
So many people are like,
what he said.
But man, I just want to start painting the picture before we get into the whole essence of what made that foundation of that Mark Kibble feeling, that sound, that energy that we and so many others fell in love with after the fact. You dig? And now we see that you grow up, of course, musically. Your mom, of course, if I believe, was the pianist for the church. Right. So you had that in your ear.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
And your love of course, the gospel, the traditionals, how we grew up as Adventists, which I thank God every day of the roundness of what we had growing up came to music, Right. And then you had all of that, and then you broke off into your Earth, Wind, and Fire love, your outside of Sabbath time music love. You dig? That was an energy of your foundation. So by the time in Buffalo now, did you start feeling a feeling, Mark, of, I'm digging this did your artisticness start to wake up? Was it then or was it later?
It was then. I'll tell you this. I probably couldn't have been more than 9 or 10 years old. And we were at Northeastern Conference camp meeting. And, we would all up there, we'd find the pianist around the conference, and we all gather around the piano and somebody play, and we, compare notes. You know how we do.
Yes.
It was back then that I heard like the first full arrangement in my head before I could ever arrange anything.
Now, wait, do that again, please.
Yeah. I was like, I heard a song. I think Alan Johnston probably sang it as a solo. In my head, I heard a whole vocal arrangement of that song that I can still remember.
Wow. In
my head, that I could be back then. I didn't know how to voice anything out or anything, but I heard the whole thing. Wow. And of course, I never did it, but to this day, I can still hear it. And that let me know then, okay, there's something more that we can do here. That was before I ever heard of Singers Unlimited. And, we haven't talked about that yet, strong influence. Gene Perling and High-Lows and all that stuff. That was way before all that.
That's right.
And, his arrangement let me know what could be done. But I was hearing it even before I heard all that stuff. So that was the clue. That was a clue that something more could happen, you know.
So at that time, did you start like branching out to hear other things, or is that the time where, because you mentioned Singers Unlimited, man, and
Yeah.
I really, you made me jump, and I'm gonna go all over because we have so much we can cover. But man, when you mentioned them, it took me back to when our family moved to Huntsville in '72, right? And that's before Dad became a pastor. My mom and Dad were working at Redstone, but we were in Huntsville, and I remember going over for dinner for the first time, meeting Merv and the family. And Merv was like, you remember, and he said, hey, I want you, come listen to something. This is 1972. How old were we, right? Okay. So we go on and listen to the music, and he pulls out Singers Unlimited. He pulls out Pearly. And I remember the song was Mountain Greenery. That was the song. It just hit me, man. So you're right. When did that essence start? When did you start opening up into that realm? Was that Buffalo, or once you moved to Nashville?
That was Buffalo. That was Buffalo. I think my uncle in DC, Godfrey Beckett, was the first person that played me Singers Unlimited. We were up there visiting, at one of our Christmas things, and he played Singers Unlimited. He was playing the stuff from their first a cappella album. Blew my mind. That was I didn't even know Merv then. So when we met, it was like, let me show you who you need to listen to. No, let me show you who you need to listen to. We pulled out the same CD. Same, there wasn't a CD. The same album back then, man.
I believe
it was there. I was always drawn to harmony. Always drawn to harmony. And of course, that's like, the genius of harmony right there as singer. So it was magic, man.
So that harmony and richness of harmony, Mark, I remember when there was a build-up before camp meetings every year, in South Central Conference, no matter where we were, with all of us who were trying to put together our foundation of what our artistry really was. I remember, and I always like to give my own personal thing, because I think it's only fair, before I mentioned other people we knew we grew up with, that we all were in something that it was trying to figure it out. I know I was but there was an anticipation, brother, that moved throughout, like maybe a couple months before camp meeting, when we knew we were coming, and you and Merv were already there. So we knew, okay, Mark's gonna have a group, Merv's gonna have a group. There's somebody had a group, or they're gonna have a mass choir collective. And I remember Mark being so excited to say, okay, which one are we gonna be a part of? Which one are we gonna try? Because at that time, you and Merv specifically, I remember your arrangements, even if it was standards that we were learning at that time, we were so excited to learn them. When you guys would call rehearsal and was like, okay, camp meetings here, what are we going to do now? You remember that, right, man?
Oh yeah. And I got to give it to Merv. He was the first person that came in with songs that he wrote. Yeah. We all had done songs that we heard before, and we could, arrange them and everything. But he came in with just straight up new material. I'm like, okay. I was like, and I give him credit for it. The first songs I wrote one in Buffalo, but some of the first songs that I wrote were right there with Merv.
Look at that.
We're cutting our teeth, learning how to do the whole process. Together. So
now
you're right. Camp meeting was it.
Come on, man.
Something was gonna happen at camp meeting.
Something was gonna happen, Mark. And I remember the fellowship we all had.
Yeah.
It was like a thing of learning together. A support system that was there, and I ain't shame, I'll put it out there. I knew that Integral Harmonies was not a Victor Brooks assertiveness. It was not.
Let's put it this way. Some are built for background. Some are built to lead. Victor Brooks was built to lead. Plain and simple.
Hey, You know?
I, on the other hand, I'm background. Thank you very much. I'm a background singer. That's why I'm in a group. I ain't solo. So
I got you, brother.
that dude right there.
Man, I remember that time. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna fall back with the rest of these tenors, and I'm gonna start leaning on this tenor sitting next to me, and you know. But we learned together. You know,
you must shine.
Oh man, let's move on, brother, to the OC day, and when that hits me now, those times we're growing up now. You know, I left Oakwood a little earlier. And at that time, we were all going we were on our journeys again, you know, the other parts of vines of our journeys. But I remember, man, the special blend day.
Oh, yeah.
When you all made that recording, brother, Joya Foster, who's one of my favorite singers ever, Joya, since she was young and like the rest of us, you know? Yeah. And of course, Lori.
Man.
Yeah, exactly. Tell us the special blend story, man.
Oh man, well, you know, that was Merv's brainchild right there.
Okay.
You know, it was so interesting that he decided that he was going to do this professional recording, and you know, I was his right hand man to make it all happen. But you know, he was literally learning the entire process. You know, saying, okay, this is how you do this. This is, you know, how do you do this? How do you go and record? What's the best way to record? And, you know, figuring out all those things. Well, you know, he had groups since we were, you know, back in, I guess he started in grade school, but he was doing it when I came to Oakwood Academy in 77, and had always had these songs, these original songs, and this group that was able to do it. And it finally got to a point where, okay, we got to put some of this stuff down. And you talk about, you know, he would arrange, and I'd be right there by his side, you know. But that was his brainchild, you know, putting all that stuff together. And you know, we had the group. We of course tried out members. I don't know if you know Michelle Maine.
Oh yes,
but Michelle Maine was the original person singing soprano, and you know, she went on to do her thing and left. So thankfully my cousin Joya came in.
Right,
you talk about an angelic voice.
Whew, one of
my God, she is just absolutely amazing, and it just fit. It worked. So next thing you know, we're traveling back to Nashville to find a studio and record a whole project. And that was before automated mixing was going in, and Merv and I would be sitting at the board making all the moves for one time through to make it right.
Right.
So man, it was, you know, that was an amazing thing, man. It was absolutely amazing.
What did you feel like, Mark, when you sat back and heard that first full take of your finished product as a group of the Special Blend project? When you first sat back on with the studio, wherever it was, what went through your head, man?
Oh, well, you know, because I was part of the process all along, I knew, like Merv knew, what we were going for. I knew that you know, there was a sound that we were looking for to make it happen. We wanted to be as clean and tight and as professional as we could possibly get it. So we were painstakingly, you know, doing the minute details to make sure that everything was the way that it was. So even when it finally came out and we could just say, we're still listening to, okay, did that sound right? Did I get that now correct? No, did I get that level right?
Gotcha.
So, you know, it's kind of hard to let all that stuff go, you know, and just enjoy it. But the biggest thing was to see and hear everybody else enjoy it. That's when we knew that we had done something far beyond what we even expected we would be able to do. When I heard we got the response from everybody else.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, maybe this is a little bit bigger than I thought it
was. Because, brother, we gave it to you, man, and everybody from OC who's watching right now, y'all remember? Come on, man, them Moran Hall, I'm going to say the Moran Hall shows or exposés, the Ashby Auditorium expose. Man, when you cats hit the stage and then, you know, all of that time, you know, some special blend into the building of Alliance. Now, I can't remember if it was called Alliance first.
No.
When you got into, okay, educate, take us to school.
It started off with Claude having, you know, the traditional type of quartet down there.
Gentlemen's Estates Quartet.
Gentlemen's Estate Quartet. We had no other name because the Gentlemen's Estate was the place, the trailers that we were living in. So
hey, Mark, it was a state, bro.
We kind of came out the trailer park. So, anyway, he started the quartet. As you know, the story goes, I'm trying to make it as quick as possible, where they were rehearsing for that performance in Morant Hall. And I came in and joined them in the bathroom,
right,
singing If We Ever. I just added a fifth part and performed with him that night. And then started arranging for him. Merv wasn't even in the group yet, but I started doing arrangements that required a little bit more ear and a little bit more voice. So I said, well, I've been Merv's partner all this time. Let's bring him into this, and so that I can have 6 voices and we can really do this thing right.
Gotcha.
And that was it. So that was basically, you know, Claude did that, but I was the person that started, you know, had the idea of using the 6 voices with men.
There you go.
And
there you go.
And, making that sound something. Of course, when Merv jumps in and starts, you know, doing some of that arrangement, we formulated the sound.
Yeah. So I mean, that proves point positive, brother, of why it was so. Why I wanted so importantly to build that intro of the heading of this, of what your foundation of ear, and your foundation of yourself, you know, in your creative artistry. That now, that moment when you walk, and we all remember how acoustic bathroom sound is just fantastic. All right, just period. But when you walked by there, Mark, it seems like at that moment, everything that you had grown through, foundationally wise, put in your bag of music, and the pearling of it all, the Earth, Wind, and Fire of it all, the Shirley Caesar of it all, the Ani Lane Willis of it all, everything, you know, that you came. So when you walk past that bathroom, what? It just like, wait a minute now, this kicked in. And that was the jump start.
It was as simple as, oh, I know that song, but they don't know this part. Let me add this part to what they're doing.
Gotcha.
Make it a little bit something, make it something different, a little something special, so that when they sing, they won't sound like everybody else.
I got you, man. Would you say at that moment, Mark, that is when your signature sound began? Mark Kibble's signature sound.
That was probably, you know, the beginning of it.
Okay.
But I think it was after that I probably did one of the first arrangements for the group. Mm-hmm. And that really became the sound, the signature.
That was it.
After that, when I really dug in, not just adding a part, but really making something different, you know.
Mark, what is the Mark Kibble sound?
It is a mixture of the deep harmonics that, you know, we've heard Singers Unlimited, High Lows, and it's a mix of that. It's a mix with old standard quartet music, hardcore gospel of Andre Crouch and Edwin Hawkins. Edwin Hawkins did some pretty harmonic genius stuff too. And you meld all that together, and you add the influences, the later influences of even, you know, of the Stevie Wonders and the Sam Cookes, and the Donny Hathaways, and, you know, Stevie, and even Marvin Winans.
Wow. Yes.
You know, all of that, you know, as the more we listen to, the more it comes in. You mesh all that together, and you kind of get what let me not leave out the Clark sisters, because you know,
I got you.
When they came in, they were doing all kinds of tricks and gymnastics, vocal gymnastics that were, of course, you know, key to gospel, you know, and pushing the limits of what can be done in gospel. But we added that to what we were doing, because, you know, they're only 3 people. maybe 4. And we could throw that into it and have the bass and the meat locker stuff of quartet music underneath all that.
Come on,
So,
man.
so with 6 voices, you can do so many different things, you know, and that's what we were all about. So there it is in that little,
Come on, man.
Of all that stuff.
See, you know what, Mark, man, and that's why you are called the architect. That's it. You know,
and call me. I'm just letting God use whatever it is that I got. He put something in me, I'm letting it flow out. That's all it is.
You know what, man, and the thing about it, Mark, is that when Take 6, and I said in my intro, man, I remember when Take 6 hit the scene, all right? On the scale that you hit the scene, and you cats hit it. Mark, and because I was living here in LA, and within the industry, the immense pride I had when that word started going around of the group, of the arrangements, of the delivery, of the performance, right? That already at that time, there was, it was like the sound just burst through the music industry, man, with a game-changing thing, all right? Because and I remember when U-Turn, it was back in the day, there was 94.7 The Wave here in LA. Mm-hmm. When that sucker came on, boom, man, I remember driving through and I pulled over and just sat there and basked at my boys. And then after the fact, knowing that this sound now started to wildfire throughout the industry. Yeah. How does that make you feel, man?
Well, the first inclination is, are they all on my sound?
Okay.
You gotta get protective and jealous. But you have to, but you realize that the imitation is the best form of flattery. So you realize that people like you, what you do so much that they're incorporating it into whatever it is they do. Well, they're not doing anything different than what we did coming up. So I'm grateful, and I've always been grateful, highly grateful for the appreciation and the love of what people have for what we do, and it's doing something for you, then that I'm doing my job right.
Come on, man.
If I'm, and I topped it off with the theme of what we're trying to do. We have this great vehicle to spread some kind of message to the world. There is no better message than the love of God. So that's why our first theme is spread love.
Come on, man.
That's what it's always been, and it's absolutely so relevant today.
Come on, man.
You can't get better than that. You have to do that. That's the thing that heals. That's the thing that can change hearts. That's the thing that can, make the person that's been beaten and whooped turn and love the person that did them the damage. That's what it's all about. And it's about the person that's actually doing the damage change their heart and become a new person and leave the old person behind. Love is powerful.
That's right, brother.
Is the most powerful thing in the universe. So, there it is. Why not spread that and let that heal us?
Right on, brother. Right on. Right on. Positivity Posse. Come on, y'all. That's chapter 1. The Positivity Posse Handbook, which takes me to the next thing of the power of that song, "Spread Love." Mm-hmm. Now, if I'm correct, was that part of the Radio City / Stevie Wonder story?
That was it. Stevie Wonder called us up on the phone and literally told us, I love that song so much, it's changed my life. And it's on my answering machine. That's what I want everybody to hear. So, before even all that happened, he had already bought up hundreds of albums and cassette tapes and even CDs if it was coming out, and gave them to people.
Yes.
And of course, when we got to Radio City, he was like, okay, I'm here all week, but y'all gonna be here a couple of these nights because I gotta introduce you to the world.
Look at that.
And he's up there singing the funniest story in the world.
Please tell us.
When we are out there on stage with you know, and he's gonna say, okay, I'm gonna help you guys sing the lead, you know.
Right.
And he's singing, you know, no, I start the song, you know, and we're gonna bring Stevie in.
Okay.
Why do I point to him to show him to come in? He didn't,
Okay. All right.
he didn't get the cue. I don't know why.
Answer that question.
He didn't get the cue.
You didn't get the. I got you, man. Did you? What happened when you? Did you ever tell him that after that?
Oh yeah. We died laughing about it. And of course, you know, from then on out, I'm like behind him. I'm feeding him the lyrics, so he knows what's coming. But good grief!
Wait a minute.
How dumb can I be?
So from the stage, could you, after it hit you, did you look at the audience like, what is he doing? Or, but that's those special times, those special moments, man.
Oh, yeah.
That, you know, because that's your brother, you know,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that relationship has grown. And I think there was a time where you actually produced Stevie on a project, right?
Absolutely.
What was that to produce
Crazy.
Stevie Wonder? What do you?
How is anybody going to be behind the board when Stevie Wonder is singing the lead and say, okay, nah, Steve, that doesn't sound right. Hey,
Right.
You got to do that again. Who's going to tell Stevie Wonder? But good grief, that was the position that we were in, and he would literally say, "Okay, you really got to tell me if this really sounds good or not," you know.
Yeah.
And it was serious, you know. Of
See
course,
that, man?
you feel like everything that he's gonna do is gonna be magic, but then you pick from the best of the magic.
Gotcha.
And then, you know, and he taught me, you know, Stevie taught me I'm just a regular person like everybody else.
Right.
You know, I'm fallible. You know, everything I do ain't gonna be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So let's work through this thing together.
There you go.
And you know, it's my big brother to this day.
Right.
To this
Right.
very day. I was talking to him just a couple of days ago. So you know, it's just, you know, it's that kind of, it's far more than just musical. It is so absolutely personal and brotherhood and supportive all the way.
All starting with Spread Love musical journey. You know, what became part of Mark Kibble's essence, that you were able to deliver this arrangement on an original piece that now literally you guys have just come off of or still doing a Spread Love campaign.
That's right. You know.
Okay. So you're talking about standing the test of time.
We're thanking God, man. We're thanking God, because that is all what it's all about. You know, most groups would not survive 10 years.
Come on.
You know, they come and they go, but we have remained solid to each other. You know, we've learned through the years how to love each other, how to support each other when, you know, and we have all tripped in life, you know. We've made some major, crazy, foolish mistakes in life, you know, and that would tear anybody up. You know, we've all been through, you know, multiple marriages and all kinds of family issues, deaths in the family, and we've learned and you know, internal fighting with each other. But we've learned how to overcome all of that and love each other and support each other no matter what. You talk about brothers for life.
Yes.
Man, that's family right there.
Yes.
Nobody can separate that from us, you know. That's how powerful it is. And I attribute all of that to what God does for us.
Come on, Mark.
Because he is the one that helps us to change into who we need to be and work through all those valleys and harsh difficulties that life will bring us. You know, he's the one that carries us through the absolute heartbreaking stuff of life. And us to revive from that and come out on the positive side and say, okay, yes, that was a learning experience that I'm going to take, and, you know, crushing, yes, but because I went through it, I can help somebody else through this.
Yes.
You know, that's what it's all about.
Oh, man, new brother. Whoo. Amen and amen. And for real. And keep on keeping on. It's just all of those are going through my head, because I can understand I can understand when different. You're right. When different things took me to the thing, and I just said I ain't writing no songs. I ain't picking up a microphone. Anything music, nothing creativity. Life just, And who knew that a song that I wrote when I was 17 years old, based on something else that I was feeling from someone else's journey, that it would kick in my 40s, that I played again at Jennifer Raymond's wedding.
Come on, talk about that.
The flood of emotions, the flood of everything you just talked about there, the journey that I've experienced while playing my little 8 chords I know of the tune, but there was a cleansing of soul, Mark.
Yes.
That you just talked about. And brother, what is it, Mark, that you feel that lyrics, and one thing I have to preface, brother, because I don't want to put it, I want to make sure, because it's not putting on the spot. I always respect another artist's journey, another artist expression, even if there's certain artists that don't speak to my soul, that I really don't, I may not, rave or what have you. You're an artist, I respect it, never crap on what you're doing, But what is it, do you feel, Mark, that is it missing from the music of recent, or is it just not being respected or heard on the level it should be, of what you're just talking about, whether it be gospel, whether it be a God testimonial type of a song, or just a song like Spread Love of humanity and togetherness? What is something missing? That's the question. Is it, in your opinion, is it?
Well, let me, I'm going to tell it like this, because I also respect the things, the generational changes that happen. I'm 56 years old. I've lived a long time, and I've seen a lot of different musical styles come and go. And now I got kids that are very much into what is going on right now. So, I'm from yesteryear, and what they're doing now is strange to me. It is strange. The lyrics are extremely fast, but they're telling a story. I respect their story. I respect the way that they're saying it, because the people of today understand that story.
Bingo.
They get it. The message, what are they sending? I think that they probably need to pay attention to that. I know there's some great positive messages out there, and not everything is positive like that. But some of that stuff is really good. Some of them have a conscience, and they are sharing what is on their heart to the world in hopes that something will change. They don't understand everything. They haven't been around long enough to understand. At 56 years old, I'm not sure I do either.
Gotcha.
But the bottom line is, you share what you can in the form that it comes to you. Before I came along, nobody was doing what I was doing.
Right.
And so to some people, and you know this because you were in the church and you heard all the other stuff that was going on about what we were doing. It was not accepted across the board.
Was not accepted.
It was not accepted. And it was too much for some people.
That's right. That's right.
For some people out there, and some people that normally wouldn't listen to whatever the gospel is that we're trying to portray, they heard it, they got it, they felt it. And I know that, and I have faith to believe that is what's going on in music today, even though we might not always get it.
Right.
So is it missing? I don't know. I can't say.
Good answer. Good answer. Right.
I can't say that anything's missing. All I know is I know there's some good hearts out there that are putting some good stuff.
Yes, it is.
In a while.
Yes, it is.
Make sure you get it.
Right on, man. Bravo, brother. That's it. Because you mentioned, like, there's some cats that I've always dug the message. Of course, I'm a big Pac head, man. I dug the message of what Pac was coming from, and still today, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole. There's some musical groups that are like, there's a group out of LA. The name hits, but it's a young group, a female lead, but their chord changes are like, it's really a fantastic.
It's not H.E.R. It's her, is it?
Is that No, Moonchild. Moonbeam.
Oh. Let me tell you who you should listen to, Victor. Let me tell you who I am an absolute huge fan of, and I have their entire catalog on replay. Their entire catalog on replay. That's what I run to. That's what I do.
But who are you saying? Who?
Moonchild.
Oh, right on. Okay.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, let me tell you who you should listen to.
Yeah, because if you suggest something, I'm gonna be like E.M. Hutton on you, man.
No, we on the same page, bro. Moonchild.
I dig them a lot.
Dude, I went to their live show here, man.
Really?
I absolutely love them.
Shout out to Moonchild on the spare of the moment. Well, Mark, tell us, man, Do the Right Thing, the soundtrack. When you cats hit that sound, number one, the movie Do the Right Thing, classic movie.
Yeah.
And then how did Spike step to you cats or the whole thing? Because that was an original tune to the soundtrack.
That's right. He came to us with it. This is the idea, and you guys write the song for it. Man, I'm so thankful for Spike and what he was trying to do and what he's always tried to do.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that he brought us into that whole thing, had enough respect for us to say,
right,
just do your thing. Just do your thing. And, I love that song, man.
That's what I'm saying.
I love that song. I wish that I could say that, I was a part of the writing process, but I was busy doing something else. So, Merv, Dave got all
right on, Dave.
I helped with the arranging of it. But
yes.
But,
well, let's go on to Martin Lawrence. Let's go into the Martin Lawrence sitcom, man. And we were all, because Martin was so huge and so big to so many of us during that time of the first season. We all, of course, knew when your season popped on, that sound was a different intro sound. But then all of us who knew that Mark Kibble sound, wait a minute, now is that somebody trying? That's before we knew that it was actually, Tell me about that experience, man. That class.
That was us. I felt so lucky to get that one.
Really, man?
A whole entire year before that thing came out, they gave us a call to say, we're looking for a new theme. Everybody just, write in your theme and send it to us and we'll see what happens. So we sent ours in. We did one, and Joey and I got together with another friend of ours in Buffalo and and just, wrote it. I took a few samples from the show, threw them in there,
Right.
Gotta have Martin and Martin. So
that's right.
But we did our thing and we sent it to him, and we didn't hear from anybody for a whole year.
Wow.
And next thing you know, we like yours. We want to use yours.
Right.
And the rest is history.
Got you, brother. It's exactly still to this day.
And trust me, my bank is grateful, very grateful.
Hey, and you deserve every penny. That's what I'm talking about. So it's like, as long as it lasts, because you know what, Chris, actually, my brother Chris was casting at Martin at that time.
Really?
Yeah, he was working at Central Casting, and he said, "Hey, man," and he said, "Is that Mark? Does it take 6 of them on the new Mark?" I said, "Man, I don't know." And so we heard it, and that like you say, the rest is history, man. That's just history.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
White House, how many times?
More times than I can remember.
Exactly.
We have sung for everyone except for the last one.
Okay.
And we ain't going there.
I got you, brother.
It started with Carter. We sang for Carter, both Bushes, Clinton, and Obama.
Go ahead, man.
And we've done lots of stuff down in DC, from Kennedy Center honors to the White House Christmases, and we're just always glad to be a part of it, and so glad to not be a part of it now.
Yeah, I got you, brother. I got you. You can spread love as much as they'll accept it. You know,
there you go. There you go.
Mark, man, I have to give a shout out also before we get out of here, man, to the work you've done with Eliana Elias over there, man.
Ooh,
Second home.
girl.
Yeah, well, bossa nova, I know, must mean, it's got to mean a lot to you. That whole Brazilian sound. Please talk to our Brazilian community, man. That's all.
Oh, you know it. Well, first of all, Brazilian community, you know I love you. Love you so much. We can never get there enough. We were supposed to go there this year. In fact, you know, it's still on the books. I hope that it did, that something changes so we can actually go. But I love Brazil. I love the culture. I love the music. I love the people. And, you know, before I ever worked with Eliani, I loved her from way, way back when, you know, when we first started. She was one of the people that we discovered and listened to early on back in, you know, probably 89, 90. And I can almost call the name of the song that she did, Through the Fire.
Oh.
Through the Fire became my theme song. So I just dreamed that, you know, I'd be able to work with her one day. And next thing you know, we're working together.
Right on, man.
You know, and you know, when the musical marriage was like way beyond. Once we started working together, the love was just super strong. I'm still not done working with her.
Got you. Please, yeah, no.
I got one coming. So
right,
you know,
on, bro.
Yeah, man. If anybody's familiar with Eliana, if you're not, get familiar, because that music will soothe your soul. It is so strong and so powerful.
Right.
You know?
Especially with that Kibbleness sitting there. That's so.
Even without me, man, I just give her all the props in the world. Just listen to her. She's amazing.
I got you, brother. Mark, thank you, man. Thank you, brother.
Well, thank you for
coming on here, man.
Huh? Yeah, babe, shoot. One of these days, we're going to have to hook some music up together.
Man, hold up now. I hope you saw them bumps just hit me soon as you said.
You know what? You know, we got to make it happen, dude.
It would be an honor.
Do something for you.
Yes.
Let me know what you're doing. You know?
That'd be an honor, Mark. Yeah. Man, love to the family.
Love to yours,
to
man.
Everyone. Much respect to you and the family, to your babies, to your wife, man. And to the lineage.
We love
you have a legacy.
Yeah.
You have a legacy, Mark. You have a legacy of artistry. You have a legacy of realness, brother. You have a legacy of originality. You have a legacy of purpose. And to me and other artists and other people in this world who've had the blessing to be able to be blessed of your work, whether it's independently or with the genius of Take 6 as well, collectively, we carry that with us. And it's here with us until the day we're not here. And to me, that's a blessing, brother.
Oh, man.
Thank you for all you're doing.
Blessings to me too. Thank you for you, the coolest dude I know out there. In the midst of the LA heat, your room has icebergs crawling down. So,
oh, brother.
I'm feeling the coolest come through my computer screen right now. Thank you very much, man. AC coming from this dude, Big Brooks, right now. Do y'all feel it? Y'all feel it? I know you do.
Brother, you know what? I mean, even tears are laughing now. So if we had someone here today. Ladies and gentlemen,
yes,
you've heard it here. Mark, is there anything you want to say, brother, before you go off camera?
Man, you know I love you as my brother.
Right on.
My family. I love all of you out there that are listening, and spread it, because the more people that we touch, the more people we can love. You know what? Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen.
The more people we can touch, the more people we can love. Hey, positivity, positive, we're going to take that with us, right? That's right.
Yes,
that's right. Have a good one, Mark. Have a good one, man.
Likewise. Be blessed always. Be blessed.
You got it, brother. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we've had some, and like I say, that's why I hate calling these, the gentleman you just saw while he was on camera with us here. That's why I hate to call these interviews. You know, we have conversations with people and their journeys, and they just come from the heart, man. You know, and that's all our mission is here at the Victor Brooks Show, Positivity Posse, quarantine series. You know, is to just like Mark just said, spread love. Like Take Six is the iconic classic that's still a standard today. That's what it's all about. Spreading that love. Mark said it so eloquently, and we co-sign 100% on everything that message is about, because that's why we're here. Positivity Posse, we love you. Thank you for joining us. And I always have to remind you, check out our YouTube channel. Go to the Victor Brooks Show on YouTube. You know, go ahead and subscribe. Like the episodes that you like. If you don't like them, hey, but click the ones that you dig, you know, and go ahead and like it and help us spread that love through the Victor Brooks Show at YouTube. Also, we are on the audio exclusives as well, all through your audio formats, you know, iHeart and iTunes, and wherever your format for audio podcasts are, you'll find the Victor Brooks Show there. And this month, we're not done with you, y'all. Next weekend is going to be a fantastic conversation with my brother from another mother, another legend in his own right, Mr. Nate Watts. You heard Mark mention his relationship there with his brother and mentor, the incredible Stevie Wonder. Nate Watts has been Stevie's right-hand man for a good while, since Songs in the Key of Life, and a Detroit native, and we'll hear his journey, his story, Nate Watts, next Saturday at 1 o'clock Pacific time. Come on back and get some of that Nate Watts on you. And then on Sunday, next Sunday at 1 o'clock, we have the incredible, legendary R&B diva, is it diva, queen, whatever. She's a trendsetter in her own right. Miss Mickey Howard will be with us to tell her journey, tell her story, have her conversation with our Positivity Posse. So next weekend, y'all. And we just added Kim and Candy for next Saturday after Nate Watts at 3 o'clock is what we're going. It'll be a Saturday or Sunday. We're still getting the details of that together. But I know either Saturday or Sunday, we're going to hit you back to back with 2 episodes in one of those days. But for sure, next Saturday, 1 o'clock, Nate Watts, and Sunday, 1 o'clock Pacific time, the incredible Queen of Soul herself, Mickey Howard. We love you, y'all. And like I always like to close, come back and get some of this positivity on you, y'all. Take a bath in it, you know, scuba dive in it, shower in it, you know, skinny dip in it, whatever it is, get in that positivity pool. And when you come out, sprinkle it on somebody else. You know why? Because that's what we need right now. We love you, and we'll see you next time on the Victor Brooks Show.